Okay, guys, so I'm going to read from narcissisticfamilyfiles.com. By the way, I'm Natalie. Sorry. I'm trying to make this video very short because I have a lot of vocabulary words that I'm trying to share with you. I will not put any input on it just because I don't want this video to go too long, okay? This is narcissisticfamilyfiles.com. I suggest you go on there and do some research on their website because it's awesome. Narcissism 101, a glossary of terms for understanding the madness. Terminology relating to narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, has been developed by psychologists and therapists over decades of research, as well as by survivors of narcissistic abuse. By seeking a vocabulary to understand and talk about their experience, the list is not meant to be exhaustive, but rather an overview of some of the most useful terms for understanding the pathology of narcissism and its impact on relationships and families. ACONS, ACONS. The acronym stands for Adult Children of Narcissists. It is commonly used in the narcissism survivor community. Cluster B personality disorder. Mental health professional group Cluster B personality disorder. Let me slow down. Mental health professionals group personality disorders into 3 clusters. According to the 5th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical, Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-V. There are 4 cluster B personality disorders, including narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and histrionic personality disorder. Often, individuals with one personality disorder will exhibit traits of one or more other disorders. Cognitive dissonance. The narcissist externalized, manufactured identity is built on lies and denial, and he accepts family members to accept her version of the truth. What this means for the narcissist partner and children is that they find themselves in opposite land. I call that la la land, where they are told, usually through a range of manipulative tactics, that reality is different from or even the opposite of what they feel and perceive. This feature of narcissism produces a cognitive dissonance in others who experience a profoundly disorienting gap between what they perceive and what the narcissist says happened. Black is white, good is bad, false is true. Particularly in young children, cognitive dissonance is extremely traumatic, leading to self-doubt and disassociation. CPTSD. This stands for Complex Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, a condition common in narcissistic abuse victims, as well as in people with pathological narcissism. CPTSD includes a wide range of disabling symptoms, including some or all of the following disturbances: hypervigilance, generalized fear, anxiety, and agitation, overreactivity, insomnia, nightmares or night terrors, self-isolation, difficulty trusting, self-destructive behavior, and intrusive thoughts. I wish we could get into that, but I don't have time. Denial. This is a compulsive feature of narcissism, whereby the narcissist willfully believes or pretends that the traumatic events or circumstances do not exist or did not happen, even when presented with evidence to the contrary. I mean, you can have video or audio, they'll still deny it. Or you can have a whole stadium of people seeing what they did, and they'll still deny it. Devaluation. Because of their emotionally primitive, perfect, or worthless thinking, stuck in the developmental level of a young child, and their insistence of unattainable perfection, narcissists in relationship with partners, family members, or friends nearly inevitably become disillusioned. And because they lack a moral compass, again, like the stunted children they are, they do not hesitate to express their disappointment in a range of devaluing hostile behaviors, including judgment, belittlement, and rage. I would add a couple more of those, but if not, outright abandonment. Divide and conquer. This is a primary strategy narcissists use to assert control, particularly within the family, to create division among individuals. This weakens and isolates family members, making it easier for the narcissist to manipulate and dominate. The narcissist sets up an environment of competition and terror in individuals. Sets up an environment of competition and terror in which individuals are trying to avoid attack, often at one another's expense. She or he favors some and scapegoats other, breeding mistrust and resentment among siblings or between other parent and child or friends. Such dynamics also can play out in working settings, where a boss uses the same kind of tactics to control and manipulate employees. Enabler. Usually a parent or spouse of the narcissist enablers normalize and even perpetrates the narcissist's grandiose persona, extreme sense of entitlement, and haughty attitude and behavior towards others by absorbing the abuse and acting as an apologist for it. Enablers are always avoiding conflict and attack, while often also seeking rewards such as affection, praise, power, gifts, and money. Enablers may be under the delusion that they are the only ones who can truly understand. I can truly see who you are. Truly understand the narcissist, and oftentimes sacrifice or scapegoat their children to placate the narcissist. It's true. The enablers, for whatever reason, they're disillusioned that they see the narcissist for who they, like the inside who they really are, but they're horrible people inside. Foxpology. Because narcissists refuse accountability and believe that they are always right, they rarely ever genuinely apologize. Instead, they may toss out a false apology meant to deflect, induce guilt, or antagonize. Examples: I am sorry you think I'm such a disappointment as a mother. I'm sorry you interrupted something so innocent as unfair. I'm sorry you are so sensitive. I'm sorry you can't understand how others feel. Or, I'm sorry you're so angry. They never apologize. They always say, I'm sorry you are. I'm sorry you are. Not, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I want to work on a relationship. I'm sorry I did that to you. They don't do that. They say, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's why whenever I tell you, when a narcissist tries to say something to you, you say, oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. That's what you do the foxpology back on them. It eats them alive. You say, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's what you say to the narcissist, because that's what they say to you. Oh, sorry, let me continue. Flying monkeys. Like the flying monkey who served the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wizard of Oz, flying monkeys in the narcissistic family are enablers who help with the narcissist's dirty work, often to avoid being targeted themselves and or to benefit from a certain level of bestowed privilege. The most manipulatable type make the best flying monkeys. They may be children or other relatives or friends. Hate those flying monkeys. That's the thing. That the narcissist has flying monkeys do their dirty work. It's true. Because they'll never do it. Gaslighting. This is a form of psychological abuse in which narcissists systematically undermine other people's mental state by leading them to question their perceptions of reality. Narcissists use lies and false information to erode their victims' beliefs in their own judgment and ultimately their sanity. Common gaslighting techniques come in the form of denying and projecting. After an abusive incident, narcissists refuse responsibility, blame the abused, or outright deny the abuse took place. They may say things like, you're too sensitive, you're crazy, that's not what happened, why can't you let anything go, you made me do it. The term gaslighting comes from the 1944 Hollywood film Gaslight, a classic depiction of this kind of brainwashing. Golden children, or golden child. This is a child singled out for favoritism, such as special privileges, more attention, high regard, exemption from discipline, and exemption from certain chores and responsibilities. Such favoritism is typically at the direct expense of a disfavored, scapegoated child. That's what my husband sees, a scapegoat. And that's like, even if he tells his brother, like, this has really been happening, this abuse has happened, because his brother has a total different experience than he does, because his brother's golden child, he won't ever understand. He'll think we're lying. That's the thing. That's the sad thing. Gray rock. Going gray, and well, let me say, and whenever you're dealing, if you're the scapegoat and your sibling is the golden child, don't explain yourself to these people. They'll never understand. They'll call you a liar. And usually the scapegoat and the golden child don't have a relationship, because the mother or father, who's the narcissist, makes sure that she drives a wedge in that relationship. It's a controlling mechanism, because she doesn't want the golden child to really find out who she truly is by the scapegoated child. Gray rock. Going gray rock is a boundary setting and conflict avoidance strategy that can be effective in dealing with narcissists. It simply means making yourself dull and non-reactive, like a colorless, unmoving rock. In gray rock mode, you engage minimally with the narcissist and his or her circus of enablers, flying monkeys. You do not show or share your thoughts or feelings. You do not react to antagonism and manipulation. In short, you make yourself of little interest to the narcissist. Hoovering. Hoovering. Since narcissists are by nature pathologically self-centered and often stunningly cruel, they ultimately make those around them unhappy, if not miserable, and eventually drive many people away. If people pull away or try to go no contact, narcissists may attempt to hoover, as in vacuum suck, them back within their realm of control. They try to hoover through a variety of means, from promising to reform their behavior to acting unusually salacious or dangling carrots such as gifts or money. However, if they find a replacement source of supply, they may simply walk away from old ones. Don't ever take the dangling carrot, guys. You'll be owing them for the rest of your life. Hypervigilance. To cope with a chaotic and often psychologically and physically abusive environment, people close to narcissism adapt by becoming hypervigilant to threat or attack. They are always on guard, seeking the anticipation and potentially avoiding being in the line of fire. Hypervigilance is emotionally and psychologically debilitating because it drains the body's natural defense system by constantly overloading it. Hypervigilance often leads to CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and illness. Narcissists themselves are hypervigilant to anything that might trigger their narcissistic injury. Idolization. Narcissists see the world and others in binary terms, good or bad, black or white. They tend to either idolize or devalue others. Parents who suffer with narcissism often idealize one golden child and devalue or scapegoat the others. Their romantic relationship are characterized by a pattern of idolization followed by devaluation and often discard. When they identify a potential mate, they initially see them as perfect. When the false promise of perfection begins to break down, they cannot see their mate realistically as having a mix of good and flawed qualities. Instead, bitter and punishing disillusionment follows. Oh, man. Lost child. This is a child who copes with family narcissism by drawing little attention, positive or negative, staying under the radar, and making few demands. That's my husband. Can never speak up for how he feels. Can never tell his parents how he feels. He just stays low his whole life, which that has actually helped him a lot not be abused. So I guess he's got to do what he got to do. in an abuse situation. Mascot. The child plays the cute or funny gesture role, diffusing family tensions without making demands. That's my brother-in-law, who's also a golden child. Always making weird jokes, inappropriate jokes. I can never get away with that in front of my husband's parents. My husband can never get away with that, but his brother can, saying highly inappropriate things. Narcissistic injury. Individuals with narcissistic personality disorder typically suffer invalidating emotional injury during their early years that interferes with the healthy development of a stable identity, sense of self-esteem, and emotional empathy. Conditionally, caregiving because of loss, rejection, abuse, neglect, or overindulgence, or a messy mix of those things, and a possible genetic predisposition is thought to be at the root of narcissistic injury, leading to fundamental feelings of worthlessness. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. This is a cluster B personality disorder characterized by the following impairments: over-reliance on others for self-definition, over-reliance on others for regulation of self-esteem, lack of sympathy too, exploitive of others, grandiose delusions, exaggerated entitlement, excessive attention seeking, and excessive admiration seeking. Narcissistic rage. Narcissistic personalities often react with rage when their underlying feelings of vulnerability and shame are triggered. They tend to take even small slights, which most people would easily brush off, as intensely humiliating. When this happens, their fabricated, perfect self of overblown feelings of entitlement are threatened, setting off a wild range response. Narcissistic rage is terrifying, sometimes physically violent, and far beyond normal anger. It is emotionally and physically traumatizing for those on the receiving end, particularly children who naturally blame themselves for adults' reactions. Narcissistic supply. People with narcissistic personality disorder depend emotionally on others to sustain their sense of identity and regulate their self-esteem. They get their narcissistic supply either by idolizing and emulating others, by devaluing and asserting their superiority over others. Anyone they can manipulate, a partner, child, friend, or colleague, is a potential source of supply. Without suppliers, narcissists are empty husks. If a source of supply pulls away, they may attempt to hoover them back and or look for other sources. Don't be that supply, guys. Don't ever let a narcissist know how you feel. Don't run away. Go no contact. Put a stop to their supply. Neglect. This is a passive form of abuse in which caregivers ignore the emotional, psychological, and or physical needs of their dependents. It can range from not providing adequate food or shelter to failing to provide affection, supervision, or protection. No contact. Ding, ding, ding. People who have been abused by a narcissist may choose to cut ties altogether with that person. Typically, a person who ends up going no contact have had their boundaries violated in traumatic ways ways that eventually push them to shut down all communications with the narcissist. For adult children of narcissists, going no contact is typically deeply ambivalent and painful choice that feels like a matter of survival in order to break the cycle of hurt and to attempt to heal. Going no contact, especially from a parent, is difficult to explain to people who don't understand narcissism and its devastating effects, further isolating the victim. You have to go no contact, guys. I feel for you guys who have grown up with narcissistic parents. I couldn't imagine that. NPD is the acronym of narcissistic personality disorder. Object consistency. People with narcissistic personality disorder suffer from a lack of object consistency or the ability to sustain in real life an awareness of overall positive feelings and past positive experiences with people in their lives when they are disappointed or hurt by them in some way. When triggered, the narcissist's continuity of perception collapses into present moment reactive emotions. If his or her child forgets to do a chore, for example, the narcissist's father may become enraged and punish him or her, seeing the behavior as spiteful or irresponsible. Seeing the behavior as spiteful or irresponsible, even if the child is usually even if the child is consigned. I can't even say that word. Consensuous. Sorry, I kind of have dyslexia, and my contacts have been blurry this whole time, so I get twisted. Sorry. Parentific. Look, now it's gonna happen. Projection. Sorry. Simply put, projection is attributing. My dyslexia is messing with me. Attributing one's own feelings, actions, or traits onto someone else. Projection is a compulsive aspect of narcissism. Through projection, narcissists blame the victim and deny accountability. If they lie, you are the liar. If they are childish, you are immature. If they insult you, you are critical. If they demand reassurance, you are insecure. Projection is especially traumatic for children who internalize the belief that they are like their abuser or hurting the people who actually abusing them. Narcissists also may project their beliefs about themselves onto others, such as their golden child or someone they admire. Narcissists project both consciously and unconsciously. Scapegoat. This is a child or children singled out unfairly for disfavored treatment in the narcissistic family. Scapegoats are typically blamed for family problems, disciplined or punished disproportionately, burdened with excessive chores and responsibilities, and subjected to unmerited negative treatment. Smear campaign. Narcissists emerge in smear campaigns to discredit others within their family or social sphere. Narcissists may smear another person because that person sees them through their mask. They are trying to conceal preemptively their own abuse of that person, or they are taking revenge because the person offended or rejected them. Narcissists may conduct a smear campaign for lesser reasons, such as jealousy or resentment. Narcissists can be quite calculating in their process of discrediting and socially isolating their target, using innuendos, gossip, and outright lies to the family, friends, neighbors, and community members. Narcissists won't hesitate to smear an ex to their children, a scapegoated child to their friends and relatives, or a colleague to other colleagues. The smear campaign usually happens behind the victim's back, often with assistance of the narcissist enablers and flying monkeys. Parentification. This is a role reversal whereby a parent inappropriately looks to a child, usually the oldest or more capable, to take a parental role and responsibility in the family. Narcissists often parentify a child to meet their emotional, physical, or even sexual needs. Parentification is an extreme violation of the child's boundaries, burdening them with adult responsibility. A parentified child may be accepted to play the role of a confident therapist or scapegoat spouse, as well as perform adult duties such as caring for younger siblings, cooking, cleaning, managing finances, or earning money for the family. Woo, we got through that in 24 minutes. Sorry, sometimes I get tongue-tied, and also whenever I'm reading words, sometimes they kind of switch around, so sorry about that. But anyways, so listen, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this. I was just doing the glossary terms. This, once again, is on narcissisticfamilyfiles.com. This is by Julie L. Hall on September 19th, 2017. Giving her credit where credit is due. And I just have to say, guys, do the research yourself. Look up these terms, because when you start looking up these terms, you're going to be like, ding, ding, ding. Oh, my goodness. That's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what this person did. That's exactly the situation I'm in. So do the research, guys. Okay? And go no contact if you can. Do not post anything on social media about how you feel. Do not let the narcissist know how you feel. Block them from social media. Block them from your phone. Make sure they are getting no supply, because when they know you are hurt, they are gaining supply from you. So make sure you stay silent. That's how you beat a narcissist. You stay silent and you live your best life. Defeat them, guys. Don't give them what they want. Don't give them that. Don't let them hoover you back in, because if you let them hoover you back in with a car, a vacation, money, some other thing, you will be owing them for the rest of your life. And you have already gotten out of this situation if you went no contact. So stay out. Stay out, guys. Don't let these magicians trick you. You're smarter than that. Heal. It's time to move forward in your life. Forget these people and move forward without any regret. Who cares if they are getting older? Who cares if they are disabled? Maybe if they had treated you better, you would care. You would want to help them. Maybe if you got an apology and an explanation of why they treated you this way, even though I don't think even an apology or explanation could ever make up for the way they've treated you, I would never forgive my narcissist. Maybe, no, I would forgive them, but I won't forget. Meaning, yeah, I forgive you so I can move forward in my life, but I'm not forgetting, and I don't ever want to experience that again, so I'm going no contact. That way I won't. I'll never experience this again. You go on your merry way. Don't give me a pity party. Don't come over here telling me you need me to take you to the doctor and stuff. Call a cab. Call Uber. I'm serious. And if you get a flat tire and you need someone to help you, you better call AAA. You don't call the narcissist for any reason. You go no contact. And if you have to go gray rock, that means almost the same thing. You don't let them know how you feel. You don't let them know what's going on in your life. You don't let them know anything. No good, no bad, no neutral, nothing. If you have children, that's the reason why you're going gray rock. Then you exchange children with very minimal conversation, only about the children. That's it. You don't let them say, would you like to go to dinner and talk about this, talk about that? No, thank you. I'm sorry you feel like you need to approach me like that. I'm sorry you feel that way. You tell them that. I'm sorry you want to go to dinner, but I'm over that. No, honey. Ha! All right. Bye, guys. Peace, love, and harmony, guys. Bye-bye.